if you are good students of Alon, then you would know the others. So
Test them.
Huh?
Test them.
Test them? Shall we test them?
Sure.
Okay, what comes first in these 6 perfections?
Patience.
Huh?
Patience?
You,
6 parameters.
I'm old also, memory is bad, hearing is bad, so you need to...
דהרמה. נדיבות.
Generosity.
Yes,
Okay.
they said that.
Why does it come first? Because it's the easiest of those things. Yeah? And also by being generous, you learn to give, you create a lot of positive energy. And this is also, I'm saying, in this situation here, in this place, and this is why we're doing mostly purification practices while I'm here, there is too many hindrances for the situation to change. I mean, I see good people, as we say, I also know so many people want peace. People are capable, people are able, people have good hearts. So many, and nothing changes. For me, Buddhist terms, too many hindrances. So you need to purify. Purify negative karma that we've done in the past. Instead of wanting to build up something positive, first it's important to get rid of the hindrances. So Leora Price was offering a 9-day retreat, I think it was 9 days, wasn't it? Something like that, a few days retreat on Nundros. It's called, what's it called? Preliminary practices. Before one starts to wanting to transform the mind, one is purifying negative karma through frustrations, vajrasattva, and one is kind of creating a lot of positive energy to offering mandala and doing refuge and guru yoga. So these are very traditional Tibetan Buddhist practices. The problem is they're religious. And many people here in this country have, the moment something is religious, no thank you, not for me. Because there's preconceptions that everything is religious, is crooked, is kind of corrupt, is not honest, and this and that, which is not true. Religion can help you also. But so, anyway, when one does these practices, one takes the enlightened energy already of the Buddhas, and one visualizes and all this, and also recognizes, if I want to achieve something, maybe first I have to get rid of what would hinder to achieve what I want to achieve. So generosity is one thing. You create a lot of positive energy by giving. So, you know, what do you give? Do you remember? There's also, yeah, right? 3 things.
מה הם 3 הדברים שלומדים בנדיבות? זוכרים? 3 סוגים של נדיבות. I'm a very bad teacher.
I'm really happy that
you
I
see what
still...
I'm resigning now. You see what I'm taking.
I'm really happy that I remember, because I also saw, I said, what are the things? I went here inside. I went, oh shit, what are the
Material things, protection, and the teaching dharma.
And giving the dharma. So we were very ready to give the dharma, isn't it? We love to tell others what they should do.
I'm going to be a plumber.
Right. We love to tell others what they should do. So we should start with the one that we can do. But dharma is like, you only give it to people who want to listen, not to people who don't want to listen. That's a difficult thing to find those. But you create a lot of positive energy, which then it is easier to practice the second one, which is what?
Protection.
No, I'm going already to the second perfection.
Morality.
Morality. Morality is, we had to change words also. Ethical conduct sounds much nicer than moral. Morality is like, ooh, no, it's for chnoons or something. You know, the goody-goodies kind of thing. No, ethical conduct, no matter how difficult it is, I will not harm others. And ethical conduct in Buddhist terms, again, it's very good. Even, you know, just not harming somebody is creating positive karma. So that's already, you could, but you don't, you know. And it becomes a habit. The other day I was sitting and I had a mosquito biting me here. It was impossible to kill that one. I couldn't. I could have gone like this, no problem. But no, because 25 years ago, 30 years ago, you know, you bite, that's it. But it's training. Now, I'm not telling you stop killing us, but you do whatever you want to do. But ethical conduct is training. It's not, oh, I want to be ethical. It's not going to work. We have to start kind of slow. What did we also say? As I was saying, you start with 25 in the gym. You start with not the heaviest
5 kilos,
stuff.
not 25
Yeah.
kilos.
Right, you start with 5 kilos, not with 25 kilos. You do whatever you can. I heard a talk by, I think it's also Kinzel about how merit is really needed. And the whole talk is about ethical conduct. You create a lot of merit with ethical conduct. Also, if you want to be happy, the cause for happiness, happiness is not such a good word. If you want to be at ease, I started to exchange the word happiness for being at ease. Much better. Open, at ease, calm, no matter what happens, is ethical conduct from the past. Then whatever happens now, the habit is there, you're not retaliating on purpose, and you are at ease. You don't feel like a coward, kind of not giving back. So as you practice ethical conduct, your life becomes much easier because there's not so much negative karma. Maybe not this life, you know, I mean, karma comes quite late, doesn't come immediately. And then it is easier to practice patience because not so many people will want to harm you. Also, there's 3 kinds of patience. Oh.
3 kinds of patience.
3 kinds of patience. Patience with these things there. You know, the moment I have, as you see, I don't have that kind of patience. The moment I came in, I said, oh, it's cold in here. Patience with outside things. That we say, okay, it's cold, but I'll try to be at ease and relaxed, even though it's cold. So things that you can change, you're not immediate training, right? You see, this is what Buddhism is all about. It's constant training. And in order to be able to train, you need difficult situations. So please turn it up again. It was down to 16 degrees when I came in. Now it's 24. Now it's nice. But yeah, so then patience with outside things. Second patient is patience with, anybody know? Beings who harm you. Now, again, please don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean that you should not defend yourself. It doesn't mean that you should not get out of people's ways. It doesn't mean you should let everybody walk over you. I mean, we could give a whole week on practicing what is patience and what is not patience. Patience is the attitude at all costs, I don't want to harm. And here I can really also take the words of Nagarjuna in at the end of the Ratnavali, what's it called, Precious Garland, where you know, he dedicates the whole 400 verses or something. There's always dedication at the end so that it doesn't get lost, and one reaffirms to oneself why one is doing that. So one of these, about 20 verses of dedication, he says, through these practices that he explains in the text, may I be able to stop others from harming themselves and others without harming them. It's a wonderful attitude. May I be able to stop others from harming without me having to harm them. You know, we can, for example, okay, now I'm really jumping from one thing to the other, but it just comes in, that's me anyway. I've always been like this. It gets worse and worse and worse. The 21 taras, you know, there's a green tara, and then she has 21 emanations that do things in different ways. So they have different colors. So the white ones, they do things in a peaceful way. The yellow ones do things in an increasing way, that you know, lifespan and things like that. It will increase lifespan when there is danger of dying prematurely. And then there's the red ones. They do things in a charming way. Or like one, the 10th one, she subdues with laughter. Like, you know, when you are enticed, you know the word enticed. When somebody is so charming that you want to be together with them, you love to be together with them, and then of course what you do what they ask you to do, because otherwise they... And we do that, yes, seducing is also a good one. Not sedating, seducing. Yeah? And in Hebrew is what?
No, I think this word is לשדל in Hebrew. To entice.
להקסים, ביטוי, להקסים.
Don't look at me, I don't know.
להקסים,
להקסים, כן.
Seducing. Seducing is a good word.
No,
also.
it's this word enticing or translated.
But enticing, seducing. So seducing somebody, but in order for them to protect them, so that they do what you ask them to do. So that can also be to stop harming others without having to harm them. They're happy. There's the signs. In the calendar year, there's Pisces and there's Scorpions and there's, Do you know people who are lion, born in August, end of July, August, I think? Do you know people like this?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. These people, they do whatever they want. Everybody always follows them. Not everybody, not all of them are like this, but most, when you see that people are very successful and people happily do when they ask them to do work, whatever. You ask them, when are you born? August, yeah, okay. They have this kind of attitude, they have this quality, enticing or seducing people. But the Taras, of course, and you also, not to manipulate them, not to control them. You want to control them. But the same way you want to control your children, to protect them from doing harm. Right? And then the fourth color is dark blue or even black, where they come with brass, very forceful. But for that, one has to know the wisdom of emptiness, one has to have compassion, so that you're not creating negative karma. Yeah, but even the Buddhas are wrathful sometimes. The same way as parents. If you just say to your children all the time, yeah, you can do whatever you want, yeah, no problem, just, you don't have to go to school, now you can eat all the chocolate you want, or you can watch TV, or now it's not TV anymore with the kids, is it? It's these games and all this. You would be a very bad parent. And even though you explain why you shouldn't do that, do they listen? You're very logical, you're very patient, you're very kind. They stop. So what do you need sometimes?
Boundaries.
Wrath. And the Tibetans say, when you are wrathful with your children, your face has to be as black as coal, and your heart has to be as white as snow. That is compassion. I think last year was tough compassion. Wasn't the talk on that? Yeah, right, exactly. I must have said that already last year. The snow and the cold, yeah? And it's necessary sometimes. So this is why, becoming a Buddhist or doing Buddhist practices, it doesn't mean you let everybody walk over you, but you need to have the wisdom to see, whatever I do now, will it really stop, or will it make the situation worse? And this, we don't, as ordinary beings, we don't have that wisdom. And we do whatever we can. So then it's like ethical conduct, and then your life becomes patience, and then you see, when you are able to practice patience with air conditioner, in Switzerland heater, mosquitoes, uncomfortable things, you become very strong. And that gives you confidence, and you have much less fear that you won't find the conditions that you need in order to be happy. The more we make, also the Dharma centers, they have to make single rooms now, and the rooms have to have a bathroom and a private shower and this and that, because people don't want to be with other people or share the shower and this and that, because we are so used to comfort. And then we don't go to the retreat because, no, there's no single rooms, I'm not coming. We give up enlightenment because there's no single room. I mean, come on. Or, no, it's like too far away. Oh, then there's the pkak on the way, this traffic jam kind of thing. And because it's in the north and it's too expensive also. Yeah, because things become more and more expensive, and it's true, and the Dharma groups, the Dharma friends still do everything on donation. They're very courageous, but they're nervous. They always have money since I come. They were always nervous. They still have money, so I don't know. But anyway, and it's true. From the beginning, it was always, oh, maybe we should. And then I said, well, are you lacking money? No. So then I said, you can start asking for money when there's no more money. Now there's no need. So anyway, then you become very correct. If you patience is, you're not born with patience. Babies are very impatient. The slightest thing, it's very difficult to keep them comfortable because they're so sensitive also. As we grow older, then we can practice patience. So we have two, outside conditions, that's the easiest. That's what the training ground. So, but when we have the opportunity to train, what do? If we can change something, we change it. We run away from it. So then no training ground, no putting on weight on the gym, because the gym also becomes kind of boring if it's very easy. Yeah? So you have to find the middle way. You have to find what you need at the moment, because you also have moments, patience, endurance. Actually, we also started to use, I think it's Dr. Churton, who came up with, instead of patience, fortitude. Fortitude has the word strength in it, makes you stronger. Instead of patience, because patience seems, I'm just sitting here and wait until it's finished because you're too frightened to react. And then you think you're practicing patience, or you retaliate or whatever to change the situation. But fortitude is a very good word. It needs a lot of courage to be patient, but you are patient, the courage increases. And then it comes enthusiasm. Oh, so the third kind of patience, we forgot, patience with the Dharma. Because the whole thing doesn't work just like this. And on top of it, because there are so many different methods, me, because my brain is going and I don't like to give talks so much anymore, or I don't like it all actually. So I'm doing formal, very traditional Buddhist practices. Medicine Buddha, Tara, Nunes, Chenrezig, these kind of things. I have a sadhana, which is like a recipe when you make a cake. You know what you have to say, it says what you have to think, it says what you have to visualize. And I feel it's working for me. It works for some other people. Not many people have access to it, but this is what I'm offering most. And then, of course, in the meantime, as we do the sadhana, I give some explanation and bring in some dharma and all this. But official dharma talks is, I don't know. Yeah, we have so many young Israelis now who know the situation much better than I do, who can relate to it much better than I do, who speak Hebrew, who have studied everything, who have diploma. There's a future one sitting there, which is Tome. He was going to Dharamsala and study with Serkong Rinpoche, so then another one soon coming. So it's good. So I concentrate more on this because for me it works. But that the mind becomes more relaxed, more open, much more at ease, not having to prove anything all the time, and people criticize you, yeah, so what, it's okay, these kind of things. I make mistakes, I can immediately admit, I don't try to hide it or whatever. This is all thanks to these practices with the Buddhas, with the deities directly. So I'm not so good anymore also to give a talk, just for general well-being. But anyway, I'm here, so I'm trying. So we come to enthusiasm. Now, translations are many there, yeah. So one is joyous effort. When you hear the word effort, how does it make you feel? Oh no. And joyous on top of it? And effort? No, thank you. So don't use that word, Then there is heroic perseverance, I think. Yeah, heroic perseverance. Does that sound a bit better?
Gibberish.
When you hear the word hero, what comes up in your mind when you hear the word hero?
Pretentious.
Hmm?
Pretentious. Maybe pretentious, like.
Why? Somebody who saves somebody's life? Why would that be pretentious?
That's not pretentious.
Ah, okay. No, I don't mean a pretentious hero. Heroic perseverance. Continuing with the practice, applying these tools even when it becomes difficult. And we have so many tools, you know. One of them is thinking about precious human rebirth. Come on, we have, from our own side, we had maybe, now that it becomes, now I'm looking in a very clear direction, maybe at the beginning when things outside were easier, we had a lot of enthusiasm and we had a lot of energy and this and that. But now it becomes more and more and more difficult because nothing seems to change. You wear yourself out going every Saturday to the demonstrations, to the families and all this. But don't these families say thank you when you come? Don't they feel support? You know, the family square in Tel Aviv? You don't have to do anything, you just have to show up, don't they? Yeah? But I said to somebody this evening, if you go because you would feel guilty not going, that's not the right attitude. You go because you become aware, it helps them. Not because, oh no, not going I would feel guilty. That saps your energy, of course. Then maybe don't go for a while. And then also see how you feel. Because you will feel guilty. Then what's the point of not going if the not going doesn't make you happy? You might as well go, because then it makes you happier. Yeah, do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All you need to do is changing perspective. Okay? So it was Thupten Jinpa, maybe some of you know him, he was the first and wonderful, all the women were in love with him. Thupten Jinpa? Oh, you're all too young. He is the first translator of His Holiness. He then stayed in the United States and married, he disrobed, he was a monk, then he married an American woman, he became a professor at Stanford. Yeah, you know him, so because you're nodding. So he said, I mean, he says many things, but one of the things that really struck me, so, you know, when I say things, they're not from me, they're from other people also. He said, you cannot change emotions, but you can change perspective. And then the emotion will change. So you have to find out, again, it's all in your own hands. You have to find out, how do I have to think so that the emotion of heaviness or emptiness inside or closeness, that it changes. You have to find out. You have hundreds, thousands of tools, thoughts. So also in Monash, one lady came after the morning and said, oh, I'm really sorry, I have to go. And I had already said this whole thing about perspective. You were there, yeah? I said, changing perspective. So I said, okay, looking at you, you feel terrible that you have to go. And she said, yes. So I said, what's the point? You still have to go. And then I asked her, I said, how would you now change the perspective? What does it mean? What would you think now? What do you think she would have to think? It was so wonderful that I was here this morning. It's so simple. It makes two totally different emotions. Oh, I'm so sorry, I have to go now. She's not even happy that she was there this morning. And we can all do that. We can all change perspective. So heroic perseverance means you still continue even though things get tough. And then for that you need a perspective. So you need to know what you want. Right? So this is, these are Shantideva, these are instructions for the Bodhisattva, somebody who wants to be of benefit to all beings, and somebody who recognizes if I stay in the state I am, I cannot be of benefit to all beings, who understands it is possible to attain what is called Buddhahood, like to become a fully awakened being. So what's the difference between us, ordinary beings, and a Buddha, somebody who is awake? What's the difference? Yeah, Alon? Huge difference, isn't it?
Huge difference, right? The way you look at things, the way you capture them in reality.
Yeah.
The understanding of the four seals, or living, or to see the four seals.
Understanding all the things he taught. Yeah, good. In very simple terms, a Buddha's mind is normal.
Normal.
Normal. Normal not in terms of the norm, but normal in terms of natural. When we are very tense and tight and all this, or angry or full of desire, we're not normal. We even say it, isn't it? Has it ever happened to you that you were very angry at somebody, and then you had to go and apologize, and then you go, oh, I don't know what happened, I was not in my right mind. Has it ever happened to you?
Mm-hmm.
And you're convinced that this is it. You said something that is not you. Fortunately, it was you. The angry you, right? So when we say that to somebody else, we expect them to understand and to say, yes, it's okay, I understand you were not in your right mind, therefore I forgive you. We expect that. But when I come to you and say, oh, I'm really sorry, I offended you, I didn't want to offend you, I was not in my right mind. Now I've lost the point. What was it? Then it's kind of, you know, when then you would find it very difficult, isn't it? I wouldn't expect it to. If I say that to somebody else, I expect them to understand, this is not really me, I was agitated, I was angry. When it's the other way around, somebody comes to me and says, oh, I'm sorry, I was not in my right mind. Do we believe it? Are we able to forgive immediately? No, they're always like this. Then also in the patience chapter, Shantideva, he says, what's the point about getting angry about somebody that you think is bad by nature? What's the point about getting angry at them? Because if they're bad by nature, don't expect them being good. If they are bad by nature, then he says, this would be like being angry at the fire because it makes smoke. What's the point of getting angry at somebody who from time to time is bad or is not so good? Because that would be like getting angry at the sky when there's clouds. If they're not always bad or angry, then, and they're angry now, you can think, yeah, but most of the time they're not angry. But we freeze these situations into they're always like this. And you know how it is. We can have friendships for years and years and years, being very kind to each other, then one moment of anger. The years and years and years of kindness forgotten. And heart closed. This is how we are. This is how we are. So, heroic perseverance, it can also be called enthusiasm. That I haven't said that since a long time. You know where the word enthusiasm comes from? From Greek. From Greek. So maybe now many Israelis go to Greece. This is sarcastic now, I know. Many Israelis go to Greece, so maybe when they, in a few years they will know. Because they will speak Greek. I don't know. No. So theos, God, enthusiasm, theos, God, pervaded by God means enthusiasm. So you could think pervaded by the Buddha, which then would mean you would never get tired. And now, why a Buddha is normal and we are not? Because a Buddha has never ever the slightest thought in his or her mind to harm somebody on purpose. Never, ever. The same way as when we are with people that we like, we love, that moment when there's love, there is total absence of wanting to harm.